Was I wrong to call off my wedding after discovering that my fiancé's family invited his ex to our special day? I'm 27 and my fiancé Alex is 30. We've been engaged for a year and we're making great progress with our wedding plans, set for the end of summer. But everything changed a couple of weeks ago when Alex's family surprised us with some unexpected news. Alex's family has always been really involved in our wedding planning, which I appreciated until recently. That's when I found out they'd invited Alex's ex, Sarah, to our wedding. Alex and Sarah dated for 5 years before breaking up 2 years ago. Although they're still friends, I've never been okay with the idea of her attending our special day. When I confronted Alex about the invitation, he told me it's a family tradition to include former partners if they're still on good terms. He thought it would be impolite to leave Sarah out. He downplayed the whole thing, saying she's just a part of their extended social circle and that it's no big deal. But I tried to make him understand that having Sarah at our wedding makes me feel uneasy and diminishes the importance of the day for me. Alex told me I was being unreasonable and selfish for not thinking about his family's feelings. He said it would cause a scene if we uninvited Sarah now and that we should just focus on having a good time. But I couldn't shake off the feeling that this was more than just about inviting an ex. It was about where I stood in Alex's life. Was I really a priority to him, or was I just being lumped in with the rest of his social circle? After a lot of arguing, I realized I couldn't go through with the wedding feeling so disrespected. So I made the hard decision to cancel everything: the venue, the plans, all of it. I explained to Alex and his family that I couldn't marry someone who wouldn't prioritize my feelings on something so important. I needed to stand up for myself and my own emotional well-being. Now, Alex and his family are angry with me. They think I'm overreacting and should have been more understanding. But I'm getting mixed reactions from my own friends and family. Some of them agree that I did the right thing, while others think I might have acted too quickly without thinking it through. It's hard to know if I made the right decision, but I know I had to stand up for myself. So was I the asshole for canceling my wedding after discovering that my fiancé's ex was invited by his family? I'm still questioning my decision, but I know I had to stand up for myself and my feelings. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Was I justified in calling off the wedding? Or was I overreacting? Story 2. Was I wrong to tell my sister that she needs to improve her parenting skills and that her kids deserve more care and attention? I'm a 29-year-old woman living with my parents' 66-year-old dad and 59-year-old mom, and my sister, 34 years old, who has 4 kids, 2 teenage girls, a 14-year-old girl and a 16-year-old girl, a 10-year-old girl, a 10-year-old boy, and a baby boy who's almost 1 year old. I moved in to help take care of my mom, who's battling cancer, and drive her to appointments. My dad can't drive because he had a stroke, and my sister can't drive either since she lost her license. I work from home and have a flexible schedule, so I'm the most available to help my parents. The kids were a handful. My sister has her own space in the house, so my parents haven't been keeping a close eye on her or the kids, pretty much giving her her own independence. One day, I saw that my 10-year-old nephew's hair was tangled and matted. So I took him to a hairstylist. The stylist was shocked to find that his hair had actually started to mold. I realized that my sister's work schedule and late nights were taking a toll on the kids. I discovered this when my niece asked me to teach her how to cook because she was getting sick from eating too many ready-to-eat meals from the fridge, and her sister wasn't around to take care of them. One day I heard the baby crying and discovered that my sister was leaving him home alone. I realized that the 16-year-old was shouldering too much responsibility, trying to care for all the kids by herself. She's clearly exhausted and struggling in school, failing several classes. When she found out she had to repeat the grade, her mom yelled at her. I intervened, reassuring my niece that everything would be okay and offering to help her improve her grades next year. I attempted to have a conversation with my sister about the situation, but it always ended with her breaking down in tears and saying how tough it is to be a single mom. However, I later discovered that her former partners are providing financial support for the kids, but she's choosing to work part-time and focus on building a career as a beauty influencer instead of prioritizing the children's needs. Meanwhile, I've been stepping in to care for the kids, and they've grown really close to me. They now spend most of their time in my area of the house. My sister doesn't seem to mind or even notice and hasn't made much of an effort to spend quality time with them herself. The biggest concern arose when my 14-year-old niece won an award for young writers. She wrote a story that obviously reflected her difficult home life and her mother's abusive behavior. The story was published in a magazine. She received a $500 prize and won a week-long summer camp. During the award ceremony, my niece gave a heartfelt thank you speech, expressing gratitude to her siblings, my mom, and me, saying, "Thank you for being the mom I never had." My sister suddenly left and then showed up again yesterday. She kept asking if I thought she was a bad mom, and I tried to remain calm. However, she continued to press me until I finally lost my composure and shared all my concerns: the neglect, lack of proper supervision, and emotional abandonment. I told her she wasn't meeting her responsibilities as a mother and that her children deserved more care, love, and support. My sister remained angry and refused to listen, continuing to yell that she was doing her best and I had no right to intervene. I countered that her best wasn't sufficient and that the children were paying the price for her shortcomings. I emphasized that the kids deserved a stable, loving environment, and I couldn't just stand by and watch them be neglected. In response, my sister stormed off and told her daughter that if they hated her so much, then they were dead to her, essentially cutting ties with her own children. My parents are shocked, confused, and hurt that they didn't realize the extent of the situation. My mom has been crying nonstop since finding out, and my dad, who has a history of anger issues, lashed out at my sister with threatening and intimidating behavior. The kids are devastated. The 10-year-old is angry with the 14-year-old for speaking out, fearing their mom will take them away. Meanwhile, the 16-year-old had a severe panic attack and collapsed. I'm running on fumes, unable to sleep, and my sister is bombarding me with messages every 10 minutes, claiming that their life was perfect before I intervened. I'm at my breaking point, feeling exhausted and uncertain. I'm questioning myself. Did I make a mistake by speaking up? Should I have just kept quiet and ignored the situation?